In this lecture, you will learn the user interface of COMSOL multiphysics software. So when you open the COMSOL multiphysics software, the first window will appear something like this. So in this window, you will find this option of new, and under this new option, you have two options, model wizard and blank model. If I bring the mouse to the first option, you can see here it says that create a model guided by the model wizard, which means that you have to select each component step by step guided by the software. The second option is the blank model, where you have to create the model from scratch. So if you click on this option, it will take you to the main window where you have to add all the components by yourself. So in this lecture, I will teach you both methods. So let's start with the first method. So for that, I will click on this model wizard, and you can see here it shows the option of space dimension. Under this space dimension option, you will find different options. For example, 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 1-dimensional, and 0D as well. Also, you can find this 2D axis symmetry and 1D axis symmetry. If your 2-dimensional or 1-dimensional objects are symmetrical objects, then you don't need to design the whole object. You can design half of the geometry and simulate your problem, and after that you can mirror your results. So these are the space dimension options. So for example, if you are dealing with a 3-dimensional problem, so just click on this 3D, and after that the next window will ask you to select the physics. Under the physics option, the first option is search bar, where you can write the type of physics that you want to use, or you can go to the physics list here. You can select the physics that you want to work with. For example, if you want to work with laminar flow physics, so come to this fluid flow, and under the fluid flow you will find different options. For example, single phase flow, multi-phase flow, porous media flow, non-isothermal, high Mach number flow. So there are different options here. So for laminar flow, I will go to this single phase flow and select the laminar flow. Once you click on the laminar flow, you can see a laminar flow description has shown here. In this description, you can read about the module and its capability and limitations. So once you make sure this is the right physics module that you want to use, after that you can click on this add button, and the physics module will be added in this box. The second way to selecting the physics is by searching. So you can go to this tab and write the physics that you are looking for. For example, I'm looking for laminar flow physics. So first I will close this one, come to this tab and write laminar flow, and then if I select this search button, you can see here different options for the laminar flow has appeared. For example, laminar flow under the chemical species, also laminar flow under the reacting flow physics. But this time we just need a simple laminar flow. So I will come under this fluid flow and select the laminar flow and click on add. So now you can see here, once I click add, so a laminar physics has been added into the added physics interface. And on the right hand side, you can see the variables this physics will solve. So for example, for this laminar flow physics, we will solve the problem for the velocity field and the pressure field. Now you can add more physics. For example, if you are dealing with the heat transfer problem, then you can remove this one and go to this heat transfer physics and select the heat transfer in fluids and add this physics. So now you can see here the heat transfer in fluid physics has also been added. So now we have two physics to work with. So this is a kind of coupling problem where we can see the effect of heat transfer in the fluids. After that, if you don't want to use any of these physics that you selected, then simply click on the physics and then select remove. So now you can see we remove the heat transfer physics from the added physics interface. So once you are done with the physics selection, you can select on study. Also, you have option for the space dimension. So if you wrongly select the 3-dimensional space or 2D and you want to change, you can click on this space dimension and select the space dimension you want to work with. So I will keep it 3D, and for the physics I will keep it laminar flow. After that, click on this study option, and you can see here it will give you the option to select the study. So under the study we have two options for this physics, for example stationary study or time dependent study. So you can always read the description that what this physics will solve. So for example, I want the stationary study, so I will select the stationary study, and once you are done with that, then just click on this done button and it will take us to the main window. So you can see here under the model builder we have added the 3D component as well as laminar flow physics and a stationary study. So this is the first way, which is called model wizard, which takes you step by step to select the space dimension and then physics and after that study step. So all of them will show under the model builder, and you don't need to select each component from scratch. The other method is the blank model. For that, go to this new option, and then you can see here we are back to the new window. So in this window, now I will select the blank model. So once I click on this blank model, it will ask me, do you want to save the changes to the previous model? No, I don't want. So just click on no. And you can see here, now we are into the blank model where we have to select everything from scratch. So before we select everything, let's explore the each block in COMSOL multiphysics interface and try to familiarize yourself with the interface. So first of all, if you go to the top, you can see this access toolbar. In the access toolbar, the first option is to create the new model. The second option is to open the existing model. And third option is to save the existing model that you are working on. And if you want to save as, so this is the save as option. The next option is the test application builder, which means that after you complete your simulation, you can build an application and you can test by just clicking this one. The next two options are undo and redo, and then we have options to delete and for some selection and clear options. After this access toolbar, the next option is the ribbon. So you can see here the first ribbon is file. If I click on file, I can create the new file, run the application, open the existing model, and also use the save and save as commands. And also I can set my preferences from here, or I can exit the simulation. So the next option, the ribbon, is the home option. If you click the home option, so under this home ribbon, you will find different sections. For example, the first section is about workspace, second is model, definition, geometry, physics, mesh, study, results, and layout. So you can find different sections under each ribbon. The next ribbon is definition. Now you can see it is deactivated because we have not started our model yet. And after that, we have geometry section, which is also disabled. It will be enabled soon once I select the component. After that, we have material ribbon. If I click on material ribbon, you can see I can add the material from library. I can add the blank material. Also, I can use some browse material options, and also I can use recent material options. So these are the different options under the each ribbon. So for each ribbon, you have different sections. After that, if you come to this window, this is called model builder. So this is the place where you will see all the workflow of your simulation model, from geometry creation to material assignment to physics selection to boundary condition application, and after that mesh generation, study, and post processing. So here you can see all those options in the model builder. So for each section, for example, geometry, materials, or mesh, or study, for each option, if you click on the option, then the next window shows the setting for that particular option. After that, the next block is the graphic block. Here you can see your 3D objects, you can see your plots, you can see your graphs. Also, it will create some convergence plots when the simulation is running. And in the graphic window, you will find this toolbar where you can find different options. For example, you can zoom in your model, zoom out, and you can use this zoom box option as well. Also, you can use this zoom to a certain selection, and if you want to fit your object in this space, then you can this zoom extent as well. And the next one is the selection of specific view, for example XY, ZY, or ZX. You can select those view from here as well. After that, you have the next option for orthographic projection, and you can rotate your object from here. The next option is the select object. Here you can select the domain, boundaries, edges, or certain points. You can also use disable mouse selection, or you can use contextual hover effect as well. After that, you have this select box option where you can use the entity inside. So if I make the box, so whatever the entities inside will be selected. So this is a selection tool. The next option is deselect box. After that, we have select all option or clear the selection. And the next option is the click and hide. So where you can click this and hide the certain boundary or the domain. After that, this one is the reset hiding, and you can select the view unhidden parts from here as well. After that, this is very interesting feature where you can use the clipping to clip the plane, box, sphere, or any cylinder. The next option is scene light, where you can select the different environments. For example, you can select indoor environment, outdoor environment. The next option is the transparency, where you can make your object transparent. And if you want to use the wireframe of your object, you can just simply click on it. The next option is to see the gizmo. For example, you can see the gizmo here, Y, X, and Z. If I click on this one, you can see it will be disabled. If I click back, so you can see here now it is enabled. And the next option shows the grid. If I click on grid, select and unselect, then it will show the grid or hide the grid based on this selection. After that, you can assign certain materials to your geometry and activate the selection from here to see the colors. The next option is quick snapshot, so you can take the snapshot of the scene. The next option is the image snapshot. Here you can take the snapshot of the image, and finally you can use the print to print the scene. So these are the different tools that you can use in the graphic window. After that, the next window is message window, where you will see all the messages related to the simulation. And the next option is the progress, where you can track the progress of your simulation while it's running. And the next option is log, where you can see all the iterations while the simulation is running. So this is all about introduction to the user interface of COMSOL Multiphysics.